Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new, my name is Mel. I love to cook and share videos on this channel, and today I'm sharing some recipes that you can make this summer. If you have a family get together or a cookout, or if you just want to make them for dinner, that's fine too. I hope you enjoy, and let's get started with today's video. Kicking off today's video, we're making this loaded potato salad. My husband is not big on potato salad or pasta salad really, but he does really actually love this one, so I do make this quite often. I'm starting off with about 6 to 8 red potatoes. This is more like 1.5 pounds of red potatoes. I'm slicing them each in half and then cutting each half into 4 smaller pieces. You'll just want to boil those until they are fork tender. I'm cooking up 3 slices of bacon over in this skillet, and then I'm also going to go ahead and chop up 2 green onions. I do want to mention that I am halving this recipe just because there's only 2 of us, so if you want to have more than this, I would definitely double it. Once my potatoes were done, I went ahead and drained those and let them cool off completely. Next, you're going to add in the cooked and chopped bacon, 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, half a cup of sour cream, a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, your chopped green onions. I like to add about a teaspoon of dried parsley, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then I salt and pepper to taste. I never really measure these seasonings, so just go ahead and taste it after you get it all mixed together, and then you can adjust it from there. As I mix it, I try to fold the potatoes in, that way I don't squish them. You don't want this to turn into a mashed potato, obviously, so make sure you do that gently. Once that's done, you can just let that chill in the refrigerator for about a half hour to an hour. And if you want to, you can save some bacon and green onion for the end to top it off with. This is what my bowl looked like. It might not look like anything special, but it's very, very good. It's one of the few potato salads that my husband likes, and I really love this one too. My top favorite though has to be my grandma's still though. Now we're going to make this big party sub. I absolutely love party subs. That's one way to win me over, is if you have a party sub. The first thing I'm doing is just slicing up my Roma tomato into some thin slices, and I'm also going to cut up my red onion. You don't need a ton of that. I'm just using an Italian loaf today, but you can use any type of bread that you'd like to. I went ahead and sliced that in half, and now I'm just going to add about 7 ounces of salami. I just go around in a circle and lay those over top of each other a little bit, and I do like to let them overhang just a little. Next, I'm adding some honey ham. I did buy 1 pound of thinly sliced honey ham. I did not use the entire container though, so you can kind of gauge how much and how full you want your sub to be. Next, I moved on to some sandwich pepperoni, and I did use the entire package of that. And then I'm also adding on some provolone cheese. Again, you can change up the cheese if you like, but I really like provolone, so that's what I used. And then I'm going to make this sub just a couple different ways here. One side I added all of my Roma tomato and red onion. I went ahead and added the red onion over the entire thing. Lettuce is going on half of this, and then as you can see, I only put my banana pepper on about 1/4 of the sub, just so there would be a little bit of different variations. Now we're going to go ahead and slice this up. I do want to mention, if you want to bake this, you totally can, but I didn't really want to this day. I kind of like it cold like this. But feel free to bake this and melt the cheese and crisp up the bread. Now I'm going to go ahead and slice this in half one time. Here's a little peek at the inside. I think this looks so good. Now on each one of these halves, I'm going to take my knife and cut it down the center where the little line is in the bread. And then from there, I'm going to cut it into 6 total pieces. So that's going to be 3 more slices right across, just like this. As you can see, this is the perfect little sandwich, not too big, not too small, perfect for people to just grab and go. I did stick toothpicks in each one of them just to help hold them together. That way when people try to grab them, they don't fall apart too easy and they can easily stick them on their plate and keep going down the buffet line or whatever you have going on at your house. This is just a perfect option. I'm pretty sure that 7-layer salad is the most requested item to have when we have a get-together at my grandma and aunt's house. It is for sure a family favorite. First, we're going to start with our dressing. In this little bowl, I'm adding about 1.5 cups of mayonnaise, a 1/4 cup of sugar, about a 1/2 teaspoon of mustard, and then about a 1/4 cup of milk. I'm actually using 1/2 and 1/2 just because that's what I had on hand. I'm going to get this mixed together and just let this sit off to the side. In this bowl, I have about 4 cups of chopped up romaine lettuce. You can also use iceberg or combine the two. Next, I'm adding about 3 chopped up green onions, 1 cup of frozen peas, 6 hard-boiled eggs that I just chopped up. To top that off, I'm adding about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of mild shredded cheddar cheese. And then we're going to add our bacon. So I did cook up about 1/2 pack of bacon and chopped it up. Next, we're going to take our dressing and just dump the entire bowl of dressing over top of this, and then just make sure you spread it out really evenly. Then I just cover this and put it in the refrigerator to chill for at least a 1/2 hour, even more if possible. This is what it'll look like when it's time to eat. The dressing does kind of seep down just a little bit, but this is definitely, like I said, one of my family's favorite things to have when we get together. I love when my aunt makes this. It is so dang good. If you're interested to see the recipe where I made this cheddar chipotle burger, I'll link that below for you, but it was so good with this salad. I definitely was not missing the fries with this burger because I had this salad. And of course, we have to end this video with a dessert. We're going to make these easy s'mores bars. I started by preheating my oven to 350, and then I'm having this recipe again since there's only 2 of us here. So I have a small square dish here. You're supposed to use a 9x13, but I'm just using this 8x8 dish. I'm adding a piece of parchment paper in there and spraying it with a little bit of nonstick spray. Into this bowl, we're going to add our dry ingredients. I'm adding 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of crumbled up graham cracker. Go ahead and just mix that up and set it aside for just a minute. Now over to my mixer, I'm adding in 1 stick of softened room temperature butter, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and then I'm just going to get this mixed together. I do like to take a spatula and kind of scrape down the sides before adding in my egg, but once that's done, go ahead, like I said, add in 1 egg and then get this mixed together once again. Once it's lightened up and looks a little fluffy, you'll go ahead and add in about half of your flour and graham cracker mixture. Go ahead and give that a good mix, and then after you notice most of it has been absorbed, go ahead and add the rest in there. As soon as you notice it's completely mixed up together, stop your mixer. You don't want to overmix it. If you can, try to get as much as you can off of your mixing tools. And now we're gonna go over to our dish. I'm adding about half of that batter in here. I'm just going to use my hands and press this down on the bottom of the pan. Try to get that as even as you can. If it's sticking to your hands too bad, you can use some nonstick spray. Spray it on your hands and that'll help it from sticking to your hands, and you can spread it out a lot easier. Next, I'm taking some marshmallow fluff. This was about 5 ounces of marshmallow fluff. I did not use the entire 7-ounce container just because I am not huge on marshmallows. So this was plenty for me, but if you want to use the entire 7-ounce jar, you can totally do that. On top of the marshmallows, you'll just add 3 of these Hershey's milk chocolate bars. They lay perfectly in here right next to each other. So if you were using a bigger dish, they might have to be broken up just a little bit, but usually I just make it in this small container since there's only 2 of us here. To finish this off, you're going to take the rest of your batter and you're just going to drop this in little balls across the top. That way it kind of bakes so you can see the marshmallow and chocolate. It's a lot prettier this way. If you just spread the batter all the way across the top and cover the chocolate and marshmallow, it doesn't quite look as appetizing. Now this is going into my oven to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. You just want to make sure that the bottom has fully cooked. You can see it from the side, and then also you want to make sure your top has some parts that are a little darker. That's perfect. You'll just let this sit on your stove for a few minutes before serving. This recipe is perfect if you are somewhere like us where you can't have a fire. So we just make s'mores in the oven since we live in an apartment. So if you're in that similar situation, this is a great option since s'mores are such a great summer staple. If you made it to the end of today's video, I would really appreciate if you left me a little flower down below, just so I know you made it all the way to the end. And I hope to see you back here on Sunday with a new week of dinners. Bye guys!